circa 1997. Oof. This will be a little bit of a surprise for Tammy here because we didn't discuss this story. But have you ever asked each other in your marriage relationship, what's one of the best surprises that your spouse has done for you? Ours was in 1997, where I come home from school, from teaching that day, and I expect to find Tammy with Marissa and Mandy and walk into, we're going to have our family time like we always do. And I walk in and, well, stay tuned. And I'm going to tell you what I walked into, but it was a real connecting moment that we got to enjoy. And so we really want to park on what it looks like to be connected in your marriage.
What started as a question, God, you created marriage, can you make it work? Soon became a statement, God, you created marriage, you can make it work. Thank you for joining us on the Christian Family Life podcast, where we get into the good, the bad, and the ugly in our marriage relationships and mine God's word to see what it has to say about it. Welcome to another episode of Christian Family Life. We are so grateful that you are joining us here today as we talk about all things marriage. My name is Gio, along with my wife Susie, and our very good friends Roland and Tammy Martinez, hey. presidents of Christian Family Life. Hey, we're excited. Thank you guys for being back.
Yes, coming back.
We debated. We debated. You guys did such a great job.
We sat here on this last one and said, please come back. It's a little more difficult to carry the whole thing by yourself.
It is. But thank you for doing it.
We're glad to do it. We enjoyed it and looking forward to today. And well, Roland, you got us all hanging here. You gave us a good, is it a cliffhanger? 1997.
Yes. Please just say it because I feel like I need to say I was fully clothed.
That was the piece he wanted to keep unknown.
Tammy's been sweating over there. What's he going to say?
Oh
Man, now it's a disappointing story.
1997. This is still in Miami.
No, we are in Fort Myers at the time.
All right.
And so we were in our apartment building. Something really interesting happened because I really could have said this too. I used a briefcase at the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
So did I.
Fun fact. It was. You know how Gio says that we got the same Christmas gift all the time? Like if your parents gave you socks and underwear, I got socks and
underwear.
Oh man, we're gonna need some serious editing. But for our graduation, your mom got you a briefcase.
We both showed up to school with
Same one?
Yeah, same
Oh,
one.
of course.
So we got a briefcase.
I would think that I would at least open mine and have maybe $100 bill in there too.
Right,
you know?
right.
And not him.
Or filled with all kinds of things. Nope.
We got to bring the briefcase back. We would both sit there, boom, pop that thing open. It was so bad. But the surprise was so significant when I walk up to that door and open, and there's music playing and candles are lit and a meal had been prepared. Well, no, I left my briefcase at the door with my grade book.
Oh.
And it was stolen.
No.
I didn't realize it
you
till later.
serious?
I didn't realize it till later.
That
My
was
briefcase
funny.
was
I didn't
stolen.
remember that happening on that.
It happened on that day.
No way.
Yeah. Like as soon as I opened the door, like I didn't even think about anything. Like everything.
So this was also probably prior to digital grade keeping.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Only paper. That's it.
A
Yeah.
little book.
Teachers will remember, like I had the grade book, all my different classes. You had your little paper clips that
Attendance,
separated.
all of it.
Everything gone.
Oh, man. That's a
That,
nightmare.
the magnitude of that is big.
Yeah, that was
I'm
big.
not
But-
sure which story.
But it didn't matter
But it
because
didn't matter.
Tammy had made it a priority
That's right.
to connect in our marriage. And it wasn't even like things were bad and we needed,
Right.
because when you make up, that's kind of fun too. But
Yeah.
but this wasn't a we need to make up here. This was just this was random.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
that song. The best part of breaking up is making up.
Yeah.
That's right. Do you want to sing that? Just kidding. So we were, Marissa was, when we moved to Fort Myers, I can't remember what.
She was
Yeah,
almost
Marissa
2.
wasn't.
You know what?
She would have
If I
been 2 in
remember-
November.
I think I remember it was February 6th. Do you know what date that is?
Yeah, of course I remember.
He doesn't. It is the date that
The-
we
when you
started,
started
dating. And I don't think, and it's not like we hit it every year and we
Do you still have the
something.
teddy bear that we got you?
No, I don't. Do you, Susie?
I know.
Again, Susie and I got the same teddy
We
bear,
got the
different
same
colors.
gifts.
No, they had different color bow ties.
I mean,
We
there's
have a
theme
picture
here.
of that.
Also,
right.
there
Maybe we
was
should post that.
there was a third teddy bear
Yeah.
that can remain nameless.
Yeah, that's right. It was a purple one. No, yours was purple.
Nope, mine
Yours
was
was blue, of course.
Mine was
of course,
blue.
maybe. Yeah, so things were busy. Abby wasn't in the picture at all. I'm sorry. Marissa was close to 2 and Mandy was about a year.
About a year old, yeah.
Yeah. So
So life was busy. We were in the throes of kids.
Marissa was too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marissa's
and so
only
Tammy's parents, she dropped the kids off with them. And so to walk in and no kids and just time for us to connect was really neat. And so as we walk through, really what we want to share with you is 3 ways to cultivate connection in your marriage. Because what's natural is to drift. And you and Susie, you guys talked about many distractions, the phone being a big one, where you could literally be in the same room, but you're not connecting. And it's as if the realities of life have us so bogged down that what's it going to take to even muster up the energy to connect? But it's so important because whether things are good or things have drifted and they're really bad, we talk about the 4 stages that lead towards significant drift. From romance to reality to resentment to rebellion, that's kind of the natural decline, but we pursue romance. And so while our lists are never exhaustive, but we just kind of give you some conversation starters on what it looks like to pursue romance.
Yeah.
Whether you find yourself in reality, resentment, or rebellion. And so the first one is to move toward, not away. And it's so important that with every stage in its challenges it presents, that we choose not to withdraw, but rather to pursue. And so I feel like Tammy and I were not in resentment or rebellion, but we were definitely in reality. Yes. And so you choosing to prioritize our relationship and move toward, not away, because the tendency would be to just continue to drift. He's busy. I'm busy. We're just going to go along to get along and agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I wonder why that's the case. I wonder why we never drift towards health. We never drift.
It's the same reason why broccoli is not chocolate. Like, all the things that are good for you are the things that you don't like
Yeah.
naturally don't like.
Yeah.
And then the things that are not healthy for you is like,
Yeah.
I could eat that chocolate all day long. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, the drift is kind of away from it. I think we get selfish.
I was just going to say that. I think we just get selfish, And I think that, I mean, we mention a lot that when kids come into the picture, things do change. And I mean, that is true. I mean, it doesn't have to make things bad or worse, but it does change things. And so there's there's nuances to, there's things you can like romance isn't necessarily looking the same as it was right before kids. But you do, like, I know that for us, it was very easy for him to get caught up in work, and his days were full, right? As well as you, Gio, days are full and you're exhausted by the end of the night. Right. And you just feel like, there's just not time or energy or even willingness to make things creative. But I mean, there was a time, and we were not faithful to doing this all the time, but I think we were kind of in a rhythm where we were putting our kids to bed earlier, and like 8:00. I was never a 7:00, even though but we always wanted the kids all in bed at one time, and 8:00 was our time, and we would have dinner together after they were in bed. So it was a later dinner, but we would like get the kids fed one night a week or every now and then, and just kind of have a little bit of time to connect.
Yeah. And that really emphasizes what we're saying is moving toward and not away, because no matter what the realities are, the natural drift is to go to resentment, but being intentional about pursuing that. So whether it's coffee in the morning, a later dinner, find somebody that'll watch the kids, or maybe kids are not a factor, but you plan a date. Something happens from dating to marriage where we feel like, hey, you're stuck with me now. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Where during the dating stages you're pursuing. Let me ask you guys a question. What is the most significant reality where you drifted into resentment? And then what did you do to pursue romance? So here's this reality. You drifted into resentment, like it made you mad.
Like a specific, okay.
You think one?
Yeah.
Wow, it took Susie 10
You would have thought
seconds.
that Rolling did the question beforehand. That was quick.
She was like, I got nothing.
I just said a quick prayer, and Lord bring something to my mind, and He did.
Oh, I love it.
Just one thing or many things?
This is just one. I do remember there was a time so we never really had a sit down talk when the kids were born that I was going to stay home with them. But I feel like I remember one almost passing conversation where I said, I think I really want to stay home with the kids and not go back to work. And you're like, okay, let's do it. And then it was never really talked about again. So when our youngest came time to go to kindergarten, I was like, okay, I can go back to work now. There's not really a need. And the Lord provided an amazing job. If I gave you all the details, it'd be hard to believe, but it was true.
Wow.
So we enter all kids being in school, and so now I'm working. I start part-time, but the Lord evolves it to full-time, and you're working full-time. And because it was a passion of both of ours, all of our kids played sports, and they usually played at least one, if not two or three at school, and then one in addition, like a club sport. So I don't know if I would do things differently if I had it to go back and do again. I don't know if I would or not, but I do remember we were in the thick of it, and it was working all day for me. And then so that our daughter could play club volleyball, I coached because the cost for that is enormous. And I just remember daily, Tuesdays and Thursdays, it was like school from 7:30 to 3:30. And then it was afternoon workouts from 3:30 to 5:30. And then it was my practice from 5:30 to 7:30. And then Ashley had practice from 7:30 to 9:30.
Wow.
And I would get in the car to come home, and Gia would say, hey, what's for dinner? And I would be like, are you kidding
What I meant
me?
was, can you pick something up on the way
That's
home?
what he meant.
Because I had the other two kids.
Kids, they're all in school at this time.
So Susie didn't have the crock pot ready in the morning
I
so
did
that
not.
when you
I
got
did
home,
not.
the meal would
That's
be
why I
ready.
say planning is important.
I just remember being very resentful and during that time, and not even acknowledging that he was working, and his wasn't a 9 to 5. His
Right.
was 24/7 basically.
Yeah.
And then also doing stuff with the boys so a lot of times, you know, you have those blinders on, which causes you to fall in resentment. It's helpful to take those off, but that doesn't automatically mean connectivity. Taking off the blinders.
But I will say, so to the flip it. So one of the things that Susie really brought to the table, and I'm not big on this because I'm not a big meeting kind of individual, but you did say we've got to change some things in order for this to be healthy. And let's meet on Sundays and kind of map out our week.
Yes, I did say that.
Now, do we do it every week?
We did not.
No.
but that is a good way to
But that
come
was
together.
one thing.
That-
You
but
know,
that
it's
was
called,
one
they
way
call
to
it the
come
family
together.
meeting.
For her to say, hey, don't forget, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm gone all day. Okay, then I got to take the kids. and map all that out. I think we get to where we're at today and we forget
Yeah.
all that stuff that we went through because people that are coming to us now are in those stages.
Right.
And it's a good reminder that
is a good
reality
reminder.
is hard.
Reality is hard.
But what I wanted to take out of it is if you don't plan in some way,
Yep.
at least having the discussion,
That's really good. Yeah.
you won't get there.
That's
You won't pursue connection.
Yeah. What was the first one, Roland? You said move towards, not away.
Yeah.
You don't move towards accidentally.
No, you don't.
No.
And it's one thing to remove
so
the
true.
distractions, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
Remove,
And
but
I'll-
that doesn't automatically mean now all distractions are gone. Whoop, together, and we're all connected.
Right.
No, you have to be intentional about it.
And I will say this, one of the things that helped us is we both enjoyed the sports scene.
Yes.
So, when we talk to couples today, we got to say, figure out your date nights. Our date night, honestly, were Saturday
In the
mornings,
bleachers.
sitting in the bleachers together because we loved it. We enjoyed it. We talked throughout the game. That was one of the things. And then we would always go out with the kids after to take them to lunch or whatever. But you have to be creative. The idea is to pursue it, though. Like, just
Yeah.
move towards
Plan it.
plan the connection.
Yeah.
I pictured when you say our date nights were at the ball field or wherever it was, the sports. I pictured like this table setting with candles and nice dinner, and you're just
Switch it to a Yeti, sometimes a crock pot, and stadium seating.
And we did have, like, if it wasn't bleachers, we did have my brother and his wife bought us one Christmas a love seat.
oh yeah,
Collapsible chair.
yeah, those are nice.
And that was good. I mean,
That was the bane of my existence because
Because you only wait a minute. Did you have two?
no,
arms?
it was
No, it
two
was-
seats.
it
No,
was-
just
it
one
was-
armrest on the end. But this was at the beginning of our children's sports career, and this man was so intense. I finally had to say,
Get my own chair.
You cannot sit in this chair if you're gonna do that." So he's like, "Fine, I'll get up," and he would walk up and down the side. He
so
learned.
funny.
That was
so
just our
finally,
first
after like a
experience.
season or two, I realized I'm going to kill myself here. I'm going to have a heart attack.
Yes,
It's
yes.
not that important.
And then I said, "Come join me on the love
happens on
seat."
that.
So I made it back to the love seat.
Yeah,
A lot happens on those.
I
sides.
saved you a seat on the love seat.
So good.
We
Yeah,
have,
intentional.
yeah.
What about you guys?
What's the question again, Susie?
What were some things that you did?
Yes.
Well, one was,
Yeah.
it was all Tammy.
Well,
doing
yeah,
it.
that was an evening, but like, what were some things that you at the very least thought about and tried to implement to move towards?
Oh yeah. Well, I could definitely say Roland was really good about we had a really good babysitter. My mom and his mom would help out, but we kind of wanted to save them for like if we were doing an overnight or even ministry sometimes, But like date nights, we had a really good girl in our high school youth group, and he would arrange. That was huge for me.
Yeah.
He would make the call, or then it was a call. It wasn't texting back then, and arrange for Katie, who now has 4 girls. She used to
Wow.
watch my 4 girls.
Oh
So
wow!
yeah,
Cool.
Katie and RJ, they were both in our youth group. Before they dated, they ended up dating, get married. Anyway, it's
That's
kind of a cool
sweet.
story. But she would watch the girls, and he would arrange for that, and then he would pick the place. And I remember Sanibel Steakhouse was one of the places because it was kind of like the nice one that wasn't too far. And we went to nice places. I liked restaurants that were different from what we normally go to. Even like I like kind of the chain restaurants, but I always like to try something new. So he always like found the cool places in downtown
awesome.
Fort Myers or Sanibel Steakhouse, which was not in Sanibel, it was right near us. But and he also did another thing, and I remember this too. You got a CD and you had a playlist, and it was all, we were talking about 80s music. It was all like, what is it? Foreigner, Chicago, all the, like all the, what is it? Mellow rock? I don't know what it was, but
Some
it was
call
like
it yacht
love
rock
songs.
these days. That's kind of the new term
Huh?
for it. Yacht rock.
Like on
Yacht
a boat.
rock.
I love it.
Oh, you're exposing us here.
I know.
I think
know.
Roland misses calling.
Yes.
I do
I think he
too.
should have been a full-time DJ.
Oh, he can totally be a full-time DJ.
Actually, he still does it on the side.
He'll catch whatever the vibe is of
Yeah.
whoever is being, celebrated. But anyway, he was really good about that. And I remember that being like, he really took the time, And one of the things I think we bring out a lot now is with the 4 R's that romance looks different in different seasons.
That's right.
And so like, they're not just, hey, let's call somebody like last minute and, good luck with that, if we're going to find somebody last minute. But just that he took the time, that was huge. And there weren't a lot of, it's not like we did a date night. I know a lot of people do a date night every week. I do think that that's a great idea. If you can
In
do
theory,
that.
if you can do it, it's awesome.
Yeah. We were not. We couldn't have pulled that off. There was too many evenings that we had. We were very involved in church, and there was a lot of evenings, and so it was hard. Our kids were not involved in sports back in the early days. I would say that was that came later.
And we had other realities. That is part of the reality these days, especially with the boys. But not only should we move toward, not away, but a second thing we would say that'll help a couple pursue romance rather than drift into resentment and rebellion is if you don't let your emotions lead. Because I'm sure that, you talk about a Sunday meeting. Gio, you're not a meeting guy, so you probably didn't feel like doing that.
Yeah.
But you recognize the importance of that. Maybe we've heard it said, emotions make a great companion, but are a really poor leader. I think that sometimes we villainize emotions. God created those.
Yeah.
Correct.
So we don't villainize emotions, but we also don't let those emotions lead.
Yeah.
No.
And we also don't feel like we can't express our emotions. In fact, that's kind of why we're moving toward, not away. We're not going to walk on eggshells. We're not going to have these taboo topics because we're staying current with things. A lot of times we hear people try to interpret, well, what does it mean to not let the sun go down upon your wrath? It means you're going to speak truth in love with each other. And it's just easy in reality to drift to resentment a lot of times because things go unsaid. We don't take the time to move toward, not away. We don't take the time to make sure that our feelings aren't leading. I think there's a great verse in Hebrews 12. Tammy, if you want to read verse 15.
Sure. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled.
There's 2 things we'd emphasize there. One is we look to God's grace. When we realize how undeserving we are of God's love and God's grace and God's forgiveness for us, it really turns the tide and gives us the ability to go, wow, if God can forgive me and if God can love me, then I can certainly love my spouse and I can certainly pursue my spouse. And then here's the last thing that we'd say. So first was move toward, not away. Second one was don't let your emotions lead, so that you're going to do things that even if you don't feel like it is the very thing that you need to do and you're going to cultivate. It's a little bit like, I don't think you ever walk out of the gym and going, man, I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
But my goodness, did you drag your feet trying to get there?
I was just going to say, and it's amazing how the feelings will catch up with you.
Yeah.
Once you just do it.
Yeah. And then the third thing is, if you're at a place where you don't feel like you can move toward, or you're at a place where your emotions are just, you feel like you're so far apart in your marriage, get help sooner rather than later. Yeah. Meaning, don't even get there. Like, don't even get to the point where you can't see moving toward.
Yeah. Don't
get to the point where your emotions are like the hurt is so deep. Don't let it get there. No. Look for, so I think this is a place where this get help sooner rather than later is, what kind of models are you looking for? Another scripture, there's safety in a multitude of counsel. Counsel is not only what people tell you, but counsel is even what you see modeled in front of you. And so look at other couples that are laughing. Look at other couples that you would say, okay, they seem to have a healthy relationship.
That's so good.
I in thinking through this, again, this is stuff that we I wish we would have started off with because we missed on some of these things. I think some things like, okay, we gotta hang out, we gotta be together, and hopefully we love each other, so we want to hang out. But sometimes leaving the emotions out of it, and not out of it, but reining them, so to speak, and then getting help. I think one of the things I do want to challenge people that are listening is that when something is biblical teaching, it teaches in all corners of the world. It's not just for one culture; it's for everybody. And so whenever we deviate from truth and we're just giving out opinion, if it doesn't work over there, then it's not truth from God's word. And I think one of the things, and I'm seeing a lot of this more in our culture today, is, well, you don't understand the pressures that we deal with. My job or my environment or whatever is the excuse as to why they can't pursue or they can't, all these type of things. And what I would say is take a pause and rethink it then. Rethink the whole thing, because if God has brought you together for a purpose, and he brings us together for a purpose, he doesn't just like, oh, I think this would be a cool idea. Gio and Susie, that'll be funny. Get a girl from Indiana and get a guy from Miami and
See how
Watch
this
what
works.
happens.
see what happens. There's a purpose, right?
Yeah.
And we won't get into those, but there's our resource teaches on that. And I think the emotion piece is where we get hung up a lot of times is, I'm distracted because of my work, but I'm bringing money in, so she should be happier. Whoever's bringing in the money, because I know a lot of times that changes even. Well, they should be happy because I'm sacrificing all these hours at work for this to happen. So that's my connection point for them is, and yet the other person is starving for their time and to be with them. And so I just want to challenge all of us that our jobs, our environment, they're not unique. They may look different in what we do, but it's just another way that Satan is trying to divide the family. And we have to take notice of that. We have to take the pause and say, okay, why are we not pursuing this connection? What's happening? Man, we've got way too much going on. Do we need to take some things off of the schedule?
Yeah.
Do we need to adjust some stuff?
Yeah.
Does it mean that I make less money in the environment I'm in order to have a healthy?
I was going to say that's something to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people in ministry, even like here's a hard one for ministry. My household is not in order. Maybe I have a couple kids that are straying when they're young. Do I walk away from my ministry position for a year or two as a sabbatical and do something different in order to be able to invest in my family? Hard
100%.
questions to ask.
Yes.
But here's the thing is, Roland, you said Sunday in church, and we have if you want to go to Mazevo Church, you said, are we on a cruise ship or are we on a warship? And the cruise ship is fun. And I think there's elements of our marriage that can be on the cruise ship, but we're also on a warship. We're also fighting a fight that unfortunately too many people are losing in a marriage. And God's given us the weapons. He's given us his word. He's given us truth. We need to stand on those type of things and pursue this romance, pursue connection. And Tammy, you mentioned it looks different. I think everybody thinks of romance as the candle and the fine restaurant, but wherever that connection point is for you and your spouse, find it.
Yeah.
And enjoy time together there and talk through stuff and do it earlier than later, because I mean, by nature, if you wait 5, 6, 7 years to actually have the conversations, it's so deep rooted that it's hard to really get to a place. You're looking at your spouse from a different lens than really a healthy one, a healthy biblical lens.
I think it's safe to say that narrowing it down to the 3 things that we talked about today, even one common thread amongst them is it's going to take a time commitment. It's going to require a time commitment. So just determine from the get-go, I'm going to spend the time that it takes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 5 minutes. Sometimes it's 5 hours. Whatever it is. It will be worth it. It will be worth it.
And I would say one more thing too. I think that when we think about what we do for each other, I think that that's really important, because that shows you're thinking about your spouse, when you're not with them. But it's really important that, like what you were saying with, husbands go and they provide, and that protector provider in them, that is God put there. So that is healthy. If those things are not happening, then something else is happening. And I definitely celebrate that in Roland. I have seen him do that. And I do think that, but that's not all. And I think that like we can easily settle in, well, I do all these things for you. I do. Do you think I'm out there rolling with you? You think I'm out there playing? I'm like, well, I think maybe no. No, I know they're working and they're protecting and providing, right? But it's just like our walk with the Lord too. When you think about how we do things for him, but if we're not sitting and being with him and just hearing from him, the same translates into your marriage. Like you could be doing all these things for your spouse, but your spouse wants, or maybe you're at the point where you really don't know what's going to happen if you're face to face with each other, and things are going to be said that maybe there's regret. I mean, if you're at that point, I would still say, do it and get it out and talk and pray before you have these conversations, because you want to be spirit led, but have the conversations, get in front of each other. But also if you're just in a busy season and just having, like Susie was mentioning, that time commitment is definitely a huge factor. And like, we like to get to bed early, like our kids would be in bed and we're like, oh, let's watch a movie. And, we're 15 minutes in, but maybe having, instead of like just vegging in front of the TV because you feel like you've done all day, but like getting that time together and spending quality time with each other, instead of just being stuck in that rut of doing,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely do both.
Yes.
But anyway,
I think it's interesting how the Lord models that when he invites us into a relationship with him. He moves towards us. Mm-hmm. It's his kindness that leads us to repentance. His emotions are always for us. They're never against us. Even when divinity was God incarnate, when he was in the flesh, Jesus was moved with compassion, and he met the physical needs of people through miracles, through feeding them, and just spending time with them. And the whole sooner rather than later, I think about the scripture that says now is the acceptable time. Mm-hmm. Today is the day of salvation. From God modeling that, our Heavenly Father, to our relationship with him should look like that. We should be moving toward God, not away from God. But I think we get resentful in the realities, and we think, God, if this is how it's going to be, I don't know if I want this, but we've got to move toward him, because if we seek him first and his righteousness, if we don't let emotions lead, we don't always feel like practicing certain spiritual disciplines. And then it is sooner rather than later. It's something that we do daily. And so when we can do it there, we'll see it play out in our marriage, and then we'll see it play out in other relationships. And it's just, it's an amazing thing. Like, we shouldn't be shocked when we take God at his word and we see the blessings for it. That's right. And so the depth of the relationship that we can enjoy, and then the relationship we can enjoy with others, is really the thing that motivates us to do, frankly, what we don't always feel like doing. We don't always feel like taking the time to prepare our hearts and our time for what's presented in a podcast, from taking time out of the day to sit and to share this message with you. But man, on the other side of it, we are so thankful that God's chosen us to do this, and we do it for him. And we just pray that it's been a blessing to you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we hope you enjoyed the podcast. Pass it on to somebody else, share it, and go check us out on all of our platforms, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, as well as our website, ChristianFamilyLife.com. We are a listener-supported ministry, not only through this podcast, but all the other things we do locally and globally, to take the message of faith, love to marriages around the world Thank you very much for your support, and God bless.
Thank you for tuning in to the Christian Family Life Podcast. Be sure to subscribe. To learn more about the ministry, visit our website, christianfamilylife.com. There, you can subscribe to our newsletter and find all of our social media links, where we offer resources to help strengthen your marriage. Until next time, remember, God created marriage. He can make it work.